The Loretta Young Show.
Hello. How well do you know your milkman? Well enough to call him by his name? Well, now, about that milkman. Dear milkman, I love you. That's all I can think of today. If you have the time, knock twice. Love, 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 A. Morning.
Morning.
Any whipping cream?
Not on the truck.
Bring some later, huh?
Okay. See you, honey.
Oh, listen, there's lots more. Listen. Augusta Dickens, no relation to Charles, best-selling book, Dear Milkman, was written as an anniversary present for her milkman husband. Dear Milkman is in its 10th printing.
No, 11th.
And has been purchased from...
Junior, those apricots aren't ripe, honey. Spit it out. Spit out now. Good.
And has been purchased for motion pictures by Danton Hall Productions. Milkman was written over a period of 10 years in the form of daily notes to her husband. Albert leaves on his route so early in the morning, Mrs. Dickens told us, that we barely have time to say hello. So I started jotting down bits of news or funnies about the kids and slipping the notes into our empty milk bottles.
Albert got a kick out of it. He said it broke the monotony. No milk today. Extra pot of cream today.
The notes have made the Dickens rich and famous, but little has changed for them.
Yep.
Augusta Dickens, the #1 authoress on the current market, is just the milkman's wife.
Yeah, I like that. Just the milkman's wife.
Huh. Well, they're right. They're absolutely right. You and Albert should have something to show for your book.
Wow, we have 3 wonderful children. And 10 years of marriage going on 11.
Oh, that's very romantic, but what about a new house, a new car, a nice trip?
Oh, we're going to take a trip. Yeah, we're going up to the lake next month for our anniversary.
Can you stand the excitement?
Hello? Yes, this is Miss Dickens. Hollywood.
Hollywood?
Hollywood? Yes? Oh, hello, Mr. Hall.
Danton Hall? Is it Danton Hall?
Honey, I can't hear. Would you mind? Yeah. Yes. Oh, I'm fine, thank you. And you?
Wonderful. Just wonderful.
That's good.
How about coming out to Hollywood?
Oh, I'm sorry. I couldn't do that.
Just for a couple of months, Mrs. Dickens. Millions of people the world over are in love with your love. And if I don't capture the delicate truth of your story on film, why, I'll be stoned in the streets. Couldn't you spare me a few weeks? We'll make it worth your while.
Oh, that's awfully sweet of you. And I'd just adore to see the Pacific Ocean, but I have a family.
Well, cart them out with you.
Oh, I couldn't. Albert has his route.
Route?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, milk. Well, certainly there must be somebody to take over. Look, Mrs. Dickens, I've got to get into your paws. I've got to write you, direct you, produce you, the real you. I've got to know you down to the last eyelash. By the way, what color are your eyes?
Blue.
Blue, eh? Well, Gina's are practically black, but who'll complain?
Gina?
Gina Lola Brigida. She's playing you, didn't you know?
No, I didn't. Isn't she she's a fine actress, but isn't she a little exotic for the part?
A little. That gal's loaded. And dynamite in the box office. You got to keep that in mind, you know.
Oh, yes, I'm sure you do. But, I've got to go now.
All right, Mrs. Dickens, if you won't come out here, then I'll just have to come back there. It'll probably be better that I do anyway. Living in with you, I'll have a chance to see the family in action. You do have a guest house.
Oh, no.
A guest room?
No.
Well, I'll have to sleep on the couch, then. You do have a couch.
Yes, but you wouldn't be very comfortable on it.
Well, I'll make it do.
Well, I'll have to speak to my husband.
Do that. I'll call you at 7:30 your time.
Yes, all right and fine. My pie's burning. I have to go. Goodbye.
Pie?
Did he want you to go to Hollywood?
Yes, he did.
Oh, you. Honestly. Gina Lola Brigida.
And who was selected by you, Sir Knight, to hold that dignity with judgment which was admired as much as your valor, replied Rebecca. The blood which Ivanhoe had lost did not prevent a flush from crossing his cheek.
Albert.
Hmm?
What am I going to say to him when he calls?
Well, that you're sorry, which you are. Well, you know that a writer, director, producer on this couch just wouldn't fit.
He's terribly worried.
Oh?
He's afraid of the responsibility of transferring the book to the screen. I do think he needs help.
Do you?
Yes, I do. I really do.
Why?
Well, for one thing, he's cast Gina Lola Brigida to play me.
But she's nothing like you.
No.
Augusta?
Yes.
The springs in this sofa aren't too bad. You tell him he's welcome.
I love you.
You know, we too have a responsibility in seeing that this book's properly handled.
Yes, darling. Hello? Yes, Mr. Hall? Yes, we'd be delighted to have you come here and stay with us. Yes, yes. My husband says we too have a responsibility. Fine. Tomorrow? Yes, that'll be fine. All right, goodbye. Well, he says he'll be here tomorrow.
Oh, well, well, well. It's all pretty grim, isn't it?
Grim?
Oh, it's charming, of course, Mrs. Dickens. But if we were to shoot the picture here in the house, we'd have to touch it up a bit. The camera has a way of exposing things. On the wide screen, this would look like a parrot's cage.
Oh, I see.
And such a waste of color film. What if your grandmother left you a big plantation at the edge of town? Large columns, rolling hills. A beautiful photogenic place. You live there, but you can't raise the money for the taxes. So you put on a little show. That way we could work in a little music. Anything to liven things up, you know. And maybe you were a dancer once. Sure. You gave up a big career to marry the milkman.
I don't dance.
Well, Gina does.
Oh. Oh, yes, of course.
Well, it's a thought anyway, and we need thoughts badly. Everything is so pat, you know. Mrs. Dickens, what do you say to doing away with your children?
Do what with my children?
Get rid of them. At least 2 of them. 1 kid per picture is headache enough. They're a nuisance to work with. I hate kid actors with their curls bobbing and their little noses dabbed with jam.
Oh, but Mr. Hall, so much of my book has to do with the children.
Yeah, sure. Well, we'll come up with something much better, I'm sure.
Yes. Well, I've got to do my shopping for dinner now.
Look, Mrs. Dickens, let my secretary take care of all that nonsense. We've got to get you your housekeeper, a maid, and a secretary of your own.
Goodness, if all those people are going to move in, we'll have to move out.
Mrs. Dickens, you're an important woman with important things to do. You've got a position to uphold. Get your picture in the paper. Give lectures, pour tea, write columns, be quoted. Make your husband proud of you.
Oh, Albert is proud of me, I think. In his quiet way.
Quiet way? Wouldn't you like him to roar once in a while?
Now, Albert's not much for roaring, I'm afraid.
Mrs. Dickens.
What?
You've got to give a man something to roar about, you know. Look, he's got to be tired at looking at you the way you are. Change the scenery and see his eyes light up.
Oh, I don't know.
How long have you been married?
10 years, going on 11.
Ever hear of the 7-year itch? Well, Albert's 4 years itchier. Scratch him, honey.
Albert's different, I think.
He's a man. And that's another thing. Why is he still delivering milk? You ought to be ashamed of yourself with all your money. You could make him president.
Of what?
Of your company.
But I haven't got any company.
Well, you should have.
Oh?
For your syndicated columns, your lecture tours, your future books, and he could be the president. Oh, well, a figurehead, of course, but a great tax deduction. And he'll think he's important.
Oh, he is important.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
What?
You know something? In this light, your mousy brown hair has a touch of red in it.
Oh, my mother's a redhead.
Well, you should do something to bring it out more.
Oh, well, Albert doesn't approve of fooling around with nature.
Yeah, so he says. Miss Quigley, Mrs. Dickens, is there anything akin to a beauty salon in this fallout area?
There's a beauty spot.
You called, Master?
Hey, yes, Miss Quigley. Escort Mrs. Dickens to the beauty spot. She needs your bizarre touch and a size 12 cocktail dress desperately.
Oh, 10. I wear a size 10.
Size 10.
Well, off to the paint pots.
Augusta, it's 6 o'clock. What's keeping you?
I'm coming.
Well?
What do you got up as?
Don't you like it?
Of course I don't like it. What were you thinking of anyway?
Well, I thought I'd change the scenery a little bit.
Now change it right back. And make it snappy, will you? The kids are hungry. Just wash your face and tie a scarf over your head.
But Al...
They know it's not Halloween.
Halloween? Well, like that? But this is a very beautiful dress I've got on. Well, I think I look wonderful. Thanks to Miss Quigley and Mr. Hall, I've discovered that sow's ears can turn into silk purses. And furthermore, Cinderella is one of my favorite stories, and I am ecstatic over my transformation. Now, the children are to have their dinner first, and then we're to have cocktails with Mr. Hall. Where are you going?
To Dinky's Diner with my kids. And check the effect again, Augusta. It's more Stella Dallas than Cinderella.
Albert! Albert! Oh.
There you are, darling. Every word recorded.
Now, wasn't that more like it? That's living. There's a scene Gina can really get her teeth in. More Stella Dallas than Cinderella. That's a real goodie.
Dear Mr. Dickens, Mrs. Dickens would like a word with you. Miss Quigley. Oh, good morning, Mr. Dickens.
Good morning.
I see you found my note.
Yes.
Mrs. Dickens is in her room. I guess it's all right for you to go right up.
Thanks.
Good morning.
Well, don't you feel well?
Well, I didn't get much sleep last night. Was the couch comfortable?
Not very. I understand why Mr. Hall sent for a trailer.
I waited up for you. Finally, I got dressed and started out to look for you, and then I went downstairs and saw you snoring and up on the couch. Honestly, Albert, what's the matter with you?
I honestly don't think it's me.
Oh, then you mean it's me?
I haven't changed.
Oh, Albert, I haven't either. Look at me. What's a little rinse?
Nothing. But I get the feeling you've got the itch to carry it further. And I don't like it.
You're the one who's supposed to have the itch, and I'm supposed to scratch it.
Well, that makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. So you must be quoting Mr. Hall.
Oh, Albert, it doesn't become you to... to ridicule a man in Mr. Hall's position.
He's an idiot.
He's a writer, director, producer.
And I'm a milkman. Finish the sentence.
Oh, Albert, I'm only doing all of this for you.
Well, please don't.
Look, if our life is too dull for motion pictures, don't you think we ought to examine it? Maybe it's too dull to live.
More Danton drivel. Augusta, the man's riddled with the most contagious disease there is. Discontent.
Discontent? He has everything.
And he's not happy with any of it. How can he be? He values nothing. Now, your secretary's note said you wanted a word with me.
Now, you're just ruining everything. Here, I have a wonderful surprise for you, and you're ruining it.
I'm sorry.
So am I. Oh.
Can't you even take those things off when you sleep?
Oh, no. She glued them on, see? Huh? Now?
Hi, Mrs. Dickens.
Now.
What's your surprise?
Well, my surprise is this. I'm going to start a company, and I want you to be the president of it.
What kind of company?
Well, I'm not exactly clear on that. But it's a company to handle my affairs.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
And what would I do?
Well, I'm not exactly clear on that either, but don't you think for 1 minute that you wouldn't be useful, because Mr. Hall said you make a marvelous tax deduction. What's the matter?
Thanks.
Well, what's the matter, Albert? Albert! Now, Albert!
I'll be back later. For my things.
What do you mean, your things?
Augusta, when you've gotten rid of the pestilence from the land of the lotus eaters, leave a note. Or call me at the dairy. I'll be staying there.
Albert! Albert, you just can't walk out of here without a word of discussion on this.
When the discontent has infected you to the point of considering your husband as a deduction, there isn't much to discuss. Goodbye, Augusta. I hope you'll be better. Soon.
Albert! Oh, honestly, he's getting to be impossible. Dear Milkman, here's a script as it stands now. Please read it for legal clearances. And because I love you. Love, 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 A.
Yes, Mr. Dickens.
I'd like to see Mrs. Dickens.
Oh, dear. Just a moment. Would you like to come in?
Thanks. What's going on?
It's a cocktail party for the press.
A cocktail party? At 9:30 in the morning?
A lot of interviews, pictures to be taken, and all these books to be autographed. It's the only time Mrs. Dickens could make it. She's going on tour.
Oh.
Yeah, she's lecturing the Eastern States for 16 weeks. Oh, do you really have to see her? I mean, is it really important that you see her before she leaves?
No. No, I guess not.
Oh, good.
I need a drink of water. Oh, who was that?
Mr. Dickens, you
Oh,
want...
Albert! Albert! What did he want?
An appointment.
An appointment? What do you mean?
He wanted to see you.
Oh, for heaven's sake, you knew where I was. Why didn't you call me?
Mr. Dickens, this may come as something of a shock to you, but the columnist you were just talking to happens to be syndicated in 83 papers.
Well, this may come as kind of a shock to you, Miss Quigley, but I'd much rather talk to my husband.
Very well. I'll set up an appointment.
An appointment?
Tomorrow's the 14th of May. I may be able to...
14th of May?
That's your anniversary.
As I was saying, perhaps I could...
Cancel.
What?
Cancel everything.
Well, you can't.
I can.
Mrs. Dickens, you absolutely have to see Mr. Hammond from the publishing house. That is absolutely. And then there's Miss Pryor. She's terribly important. Very well. Mm-hmm. Give me professionals any day of the week.
Tomorrow's our anniversary, and I almost forgot about it.
Oh, honey.
Dear Milkman, I wrote this just 1 year ago on our 10th wedding anniversary, and tomorrow's our 11th, and now we have to make an appointment to see each other.
That's life.
No, it's not. Leastways, it's not going to be mine. Good heavens, they've had me leading somebody else's life.
Well, whosever it is, it certainly is exciting.
Oh, it's ridiculous. Look at me. Just look at me.
You look great.
Oh, sure, great. But who am I?
You're somebody.
Oh.
You're Augusta Dickens, authoress, lecturer, and renowned authority on marital bliss.
Some authority. Where's my husband? Sleeping in the dairy.
Well, maybe you've outgrown Albert. You have changed, you know.
I certainly have changed. But the roots are still the same. Excuse me. Dear Milkman, happy anniversary. Boy, were you right. I was a lot more Stella Dallas than Cinderella, and all I want to be is the milkman's wife. If you're casting, knock twice. Love, love, love. Eh?
Happy anniversary.
I'd like some sour cream. I'm going to make stroganoff for dinner tonight. Would you like that?
If it's just us.
They're gone. They're not going to make our story. Mr. Hall's starting production on The Widow on Pleasant Street. So everybody's happy.